Jaecoo E5, its brand's first electric model, is a small EV with a big value proposition and plenty to recommend it. Battery range and charging speeds aren't exemplary, but in most other respects, this E5 lays down a strong challenge to more established rivals. My name is Jonathan Crouch. I've been testing cars for over 40 years. You'll find them all on the Car and Driving Car Reviews app. Here, I'm going to try and tell you everything that you really need to know about this car in a way you'll find nowhere else. Chinese brand Jaecoo has made a big impact in our market since it started selling cars here in 2024. Its most important model yet is the compact Jaecoo E5 small SUV, and the most important version of the Jaecoo E5 is this one, the all-electric E5. The idea here is on paper quite enticing. Range Rover Evoque style fashionable looks, Ford Puma Gen E style sizing and pricing, all topped off with a tight value proposition and generous equipment levels. You can see why the Jaecoo brand is proving popular. It knows its market. But is there substance below the surface of this car? Let's take a closer look. This E5 shares nearly all its engineering with its close cousin, the Omoda E5. Unfortunately, though, to start with, it gets the older version of that model's EV drivetrain. So instead of the Omoda's 267-mile EV range, this Jaecoo's 61.1 kilowatt-hour battery is limited to 248 miles. To be fair, that's about the same as a rival Ford Puma Gen E, but other class contenders can go much further. That battery powers a 207 PS front-mounted motor, which takes the car to 62 mph in an eager 7.7 seconds, about average by class acceleration standards. Top speed is 108 miles an hour. This is very evidently an urban-friendly SUV, but Jaecoo insists that brave, or potentially foolhardy, folk could still venture off the beaten track in one. The approach angle of 20 degrees and the departure angle of 30 degrees are pretty much the same as those of a rival Jeep Avenger EV, a car which is proud of its off-piste potential. The standard 540-degree panoramic camera system might be helpful in the undergrowth if you plan on putting those stats to the test in this Jaecoo, but of course, you're more likely to use it to avoid scuffing the pretty wheels on high curbs. It's a pity that Jaecoo was unable to replicate the quite arresting front-end styling of the petrol version of this car for this EV variant. The big front grille of the combustion derivative makes way on this E5 for a more anonymous-looking set of smooth panels supposed to improve aerodynamic performance. Otherwise, though, you get the same boxy, upright looks and the same Range Rover Evoque-style rear end. Jaecoo claims the looks take visual cues from nature, with an upright silhouette and wide shoulders, apparently inspired by mountain ridges and dramatic natural landscapes. Inside, what might not be as universally popular is the way that virtually all the cabin functions work from a big central portrait touchscreen. A slim instrument panel is embedded in the dashboard. As in the Jaecoo 7, the design is minimalist, with an almost complete lack of physical buttons. There's also a two-spoke wheel, a high center console, a column-mounted gear selector, and lots of scattered ambient lighting. And it's a practical cabin with over 35 storage spaces. Rear seat space will be comfortable for two adults. Out back with the rear seats, there's a 480-litre boot, the same as the combustion model, and with the rear bench folded, there's up to 1,180 litres of cargo space. At the time of this test in spring 2026, Jaecoo was asking £27,505 for the base pure spec version of this E5. That's around £3,000 more than the equivalent base petrol version of this car, and about £1,300 more than the SHS H hybrid version. For £3,000 more, you can have your E5 in a plusher luxury spec. Of course, there's lots of kit as standard. Base Pure trim features automatic halogen headlights, a 6-speaker Sony audio system, level 2 ADAS features, 6-way manually adjustable front seats, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The luxury trim adds an 8-speaker Sony audio system, cooled wireless phone charging, 6-way power adjustable heated and ventilated front seats, and enhanced interior finishes. Additional premium features in the luxury trim model include ambient lighting, a tilt and slide sunroof measuring 1.45 square meters, a cooled front storage box, and dual zone climate control. This EV model uses a 61.4 kilowatt-hour battery with a claimed range of 248 miles. It only charges at up to 80 kilowatts, but will replenish itself from a DC public charger from 10 to 80% in 40 minutes. If you're AC charging from home using a conventional 7.4 kilowatt garage wall box, a full charge from empty will require around 11 hours. The car will charge at up to 11 kilowatts, and if you're able to do that via an 11 kilowatt wall box from a 3-phase supply, the charging time will improve to around 8 hours. Most new brands offer comprehensive warranties, and this one is no different. Across the range, a 7-year, 100,000-mile manufacturer's warranty standard with no mileage limit for the first 3 years. And, rather impressively, roadside recovery comes included throughout the 7-year period. That 24/7 RAC roadside assistance renews with each service up to the end of the warranty. On paper, there's loads to like here. Yes, this Jaecoo's value pricing proposition is somewhat spoilt by the way that government grants make its Ford Puma Jenny arch rival a little cheaper. But this Jaecoo E5 is better equipped and gets a little further on a charge. We might be tempted to wait until the Chinese brand introduces a version of it that would charge a little quicker and go a little further, but for purely urban use, that might not matter. It's a pity the arresting looks of the petrol version of this model haven't been carried forward to this EV variant, but you might find it still makes the appropriate gym car park statement. Expect to see plenty of these on the roads.